We've reached the point in this course where we're all running on sleep deprivation, caffeine, and probably a little bit of spite to make it to the end of the term. Back at the beginning of the term, I bet most of us were not really excited to take this course. I mean, public speaking is one of the most common fears out there, and that was me included. However, my experiences in this class have made it where it's hard to leave it behind. This is one of the first times where I've genuinely enjoyed public speaking, and I feel much more confident in myself and my communication abilities. So today, I'd like to look back at this class and some of the lessons learned from it. I'd like to highlight some personal achievements, and I'd like to look forward to the future. So first, let's reflect on this class as a whole. When I first took this class, I thought the idea of an online public speaking class seemed kind of silly. I mean, where's the public part in public speaking? However, I've come to realize this is actually the key benefit of this class. Not having the crowd in front of you meant that I could perform much more confidently, and being able to record meant that I could do multiple takes. I didn't just have one shot, and I didn't have to worry about messing up in front of actual people. I also took a public speaking course back in high school, and they basically just taught us to memorize 5 or 6 page essays and recite that word for word. And that's about as effective as you think it would be. The outline format that we use for this class is much more adaptable to the occasion, and it focuses more on memorizing key points and going off of that versus having word-for-word memorization of paragraphs. Lastly, the freedom that we've had for our topics meant that we could get really creative. It also meant that I got to see a lot of the subjects that you all were passionate about. Next, I'd like to discuss some personal achievements that I've accomplished and that could be accredited to this course. To begin with, in previous speeches, I've always been so nervous and focused on the ball of anxiety in my chest that I've never really focused on the speech itself. Being able to be much more confident and the ability to do multiple takes meant that I could focus on my delivery of the speech and not just my own insecurities. In addition, most people tend to find that their parents are kinder critics than most. However, mine have compared me to an auctioneer before for talking too fast. That was never the case. This meant that I was always nervous sharing my projects with them. However, I was so proud of my last speech that I actually shared it not only to them, but to several other immediate family members, and this is a huge thing for me. Lastly, I used to be a really creative person. I took ceramics 3 times, I took sculpture, and I took 2 different art classes. However, I haven't been inspired since I graduated. The visual aids that I made for my last speech were actually the first time I've created something in over a year. And I will always be thankful for this course because my passion for the subject and my pride in my speech gave me my inspiration back. Lastly, I want to look forward to the future. I used to shy away from public speaking opportunities. I wouldn't volunteer or do them unless I had to. In future terms, I plan to actually volunteer and put myself forward into those opportunities. I plan to actually let myself be put on the spot and let my communication abilities shine. In addition, the active listening skills that we studied are something that I want to apply to lectures to be able to better understand and learn materials. And lastly, my communication skills and the confidence I have now can really apply to job interviews and other career opportunities in the future, and that's something I'm really excited to do. In the end, there are a lot of valuable skills and experiences that we can carry forward from this class. This class really helped refine my communication skills, and it also helped me a lot with my confidence and to address a lot of my weak points. Just because this class ends doesn't mean the experiences can't be used in the future for me, or for all of us. Saying goodbye doesn't mean public speaking opportunities will end. We will always have to get in front of people, talk with other people, and communicate just in general. And this means we can't stop writing, speaking, stumbling, and learning from those experiences. I know that we are probably all our harshest critics, so I want you to do something for me. Look back at your first speech and look back at this one. I want you to see your personal growth, because I bet you're a lot more talented than you thought. And I bet you learned a lot more than you thought either. This was a great class and a great experience, and I want to thank you all for joining me with it, and I want to thank you all for your time. I wish you all the best of luck in the future.